Okay. Okay. Okay, here we are. I cannot even show my piece without the stream. So well, anyways, today we have a little bit more of the beautiful book named Mahabharata. We are going to continue reading this beautiful stuff, you know. We're going to literally keep going at it. Well, yeah, nothing else to say in reality. Let me. Oh my god, I am a little bit tired. That is all I can say. I I think I slept enough, but at the same time, I still feel sleepy. Therefore, I want to eat, but well, anyways, here we have this. Okay, scene. It should be here. There it is. Transition. There it is. And now we have every single thing. Hello, hello, Saxter. Hello, hello. And well, as always, just in case, we were basically doing a little bit of the Mahabharata. Reading, we left it obviously here on the Canto 44. We are basically exploring how everything goes on this place. And well, yeah, I don't think I have almost anything else to say about it specifically now. Mostly because, or well, yeah, a little bit more of a resume. Basically, the most recent thing. This guy over here, all of this, Takshaka, someone who got killed, basically for cursing one of the few important Brahmans that there were on his world. He committed the sin of slandering a Brahman. In his case, he didn't notice that he did so, therefore he kind of got, in a sense, uh, exempted from the hate of the Brahman itself, but even if it wasn't the Brahman, something kind of funny that I still do not comprehend completely is the idea as to why could he really, so to speak, get in a sense punished for something that happened, yes, but he, well, a condemnation that he got, but not by a real Brahman, or not by the Brahman itself, rather, yeah, we have a lot of new emotes, and hello Kaden, hello Ginkgo, sorry for not reading chat, but yes, we have a lot of new things, or well, at the very least a few. As I was saying, I don't completely understand how is it that some people could really, or what, not some people, some Brahmins could really condemn others that might not even have anything to do with what they are really doing, so to speak, because even if it was in this case the Brahman that condemned Shaktaka, so to speak, the, what the fuck, what is that? Why is there a fucking link? What is this? Let me see. What the fuck is this? What is this link? Attachment. JPEG. What is this? What? Is that a 3D version of the image? Why is it so inclined? Amazing. Beautiful. Yeah, you can find the original JPEG on the... What the fuck? No, it is beautiful. It is beautiful. Do not say such bad things. It is the best. It is really one of the many potatoes, basically. It is all I can say. But, well, yeah, I don't think I have anything else to add so far. Aside from the idea that I don't completely understand how the Brahman powers function over here, but we might as well continue, yeah. Also, I am kind of sleepy, so sorry for the different voice tone than normal. I am sleepy, sorry. Therefore, Canto 44, Astiga Parva continua. So they said, the king's minister saw Parikshit in Takshaka's coil and turned white with terror and cried out. When Takshaka roared, they fled as men, and as they ran, screaming, sobbing, they saw awesome and wondrous Takshaka flying through the sky above them, like the scarlet streak in a blue lotus, like the vermilion field parting that divides the hair on a woman's head. Mm.
why? Why do you know why? What is the problem? Do you not enjoy me speaking like this? This is especially for you. The mansion in the air blazed up with Taksaka poison, and the king fell dead, burned to the ashes as if he had been struck by lightning. When Taksaka's poison had been consumed, the king, his main minister, and his royal priest, a most highly Brahmana, performed the last rites for him. So there was nothing left of the noble Pariksit for them to cremate.
I don't know. It is beautiful. Yeah, yeah. Voice tones. Yeah, amazing, amazing.
Wah, wah.
The citizens all gathered and crowned the dead sovereign's minor son, the new king. Haramehaya they called that scion of the race of Guru. Though he was still a boy, Haramehaya was mature and wise in his mind. With the guidance of his counselors and the royal priest, Parikshit's eldest son ruled the kingdom, even like his great-grandfather Yudhishthira. The ministers saw how he kept his enemies at bay and went to Suvarnavarman, king of Kasi, and asked him for his daughter Vapushtama to be Hanamehaya's bride. Having made some inquiries about the young Kuru monarch, Kasiraja gave Vapushtama to be Hanamehaya's queen. With every proper ritual and ceremony, Hanamehaya was delighting his wife, and he never gave his heart to any other woman, ever. Thoughtful and energetic, he arranged the world cheerfully with his lovely queen, journeying on rivers and lakes, and in forests and through fields of flowers. Steeped in pleasure and joy, he enjoyed his life, even as his ancestor Pururavas as of old had. When the Apsara Urvashi became his, Vapushtama was the most beautiful woman of, and she pleased him in every way, as he did her. So, well, so far I'm basically nothing to really extract. I mean, so far very self-explanatory. I don't know. Aside from the fact that even I don't know, even if someone is a kid, they could be great in a sense, but it isn't that much of a message. Rather, it is something that is only applied to Hanamehaya, and as we have kind of been over already, Hanamehaya is in a sense almost a demigod, so it doesn't count. Canto 45 Parva continued. Meanwhile, the Rishi Haraktaru ranged the earth, making his home for the night wherever he found himself. When the sun set, he roamed at will, observing the most difficult vratas, which only evolved sage can keep, and bathing at many holy tirthas. The Muni lived on just air for his food, and had no sensual desires of any kind. Daily he grew more emaciated. One day he saw the spirits of his ancestors hanging head down in a hole by a cord of birana roots, of which only one strand remained unbroken, and that thread was gradually being eaten away by a large rat also living in that pit, and the beaters in the hole were starving, macilent, pathetic, and eager for salvation. Haratkaru approached the pitiable ones humbly and asked, "Who are you hanging by this cord of birana roots?" Mm, okay. No, what? No, no, I didn't see okay to that. Yes, I saw the ad, but no money for you. No money for anybody but me. Sorry. Uh, so we were over here. Okay. Harakaru approached the pitiable ones humbly and asked, "Who are you hanging by this cord of birana roots? Just one strand remains, and the rat living in the hole gnaws away at it, and soon it will give give way and you will plunge down into this bottomless pit head first. No, no, I'm so sorry, but we cannot change anything. This is literal royal decree. I cannot change anything. It is a lie, and you already know that. We are not going to change the background noise. Here. My heart is moved to pity seeing you like this. Tell me how I can help you. I am prepared to sacrifice a quarter, nigh a third, why a full half of my tapasya for you. No, take all my penance if you will, if that can save you from your plight. I don't know. It is a loop that I created, therefore I don't have to worry about copyright because I already tested that it doesn't get copyrighted. Therefore, unless I find anything else to play, I won't. I will not change it. Probably I was better when I was not so much of a potato, you know. I was only a tennis ball, but yeah. His Peter said, Brahmacharin, you want to save us, but you cannot do that by your own tapasya. Child, eloquent of speech, we have our own considerable tapasya, but we have no children, and that is why we are hanging here and shall soon plunge headfirst into hell. Why the fuck did I already read this? Why are we going over this story once again? What is happening here? What? We already read about Hanamihaya needing to get a fucking child. Oh, what? I I know there is other music with. I do not want to. I want to use that kind of music. You haven't checked your legalities. You need to check your legalities. It is very possible that in the future, as literally SoundCloud, for example, ended up doing, you might as well get a out of nowhere copyright claim. I won't risk my channel for having a different kind of background music. Maybe if if somebody else complains about the guitar loop, we might try to change it. But until that happens, we are keeping it. It is literally the best sound, at least for now, that is at, at my disposal. So yeah, no different sound so far. Brahma himself has said that having a son is great punya. We are bewildered as our time runs out swiftly. Child, we don't know you though, no doubt. Your fame is spread across the earth. You are fortunate and venerable, who take such pity on us and grieve over our plight so sincerely. Okay, wait. Fuck. Okay, I remember this wasn't about Hanamihaya. There was another completely different guy who also got the same treatment as this guy, but it wasn't Hanamihaya. It wasn't so dreadful what it was happening to those ancestors. Yeah. This is better. This is a little bit better, so to speak, because at least it isn't the repeated story from a different point of view. So, Brahmana, listen to who we are. We are rishis of the high, what the fuck, of the Yayavara clan of flinchless Vratas. Muni, we have fallen into this pit from a lofty realm because we have no offspring. Our tapasya has not yet been consumed. We still have a single thread by which we hang. Our one strand or last hold is called Hradkau. That unfortunate has mastered the Vedas under Angas, and he is a lone ascetic. He keeps lofty vows, engages in the most difficult penance, controls his desires perfectly, and has no desire for the fruit of his rigors. Hello, welcome. He just he just as well might not exist as far as we are concerned. It is because of him that you find us in this condition. He has no wife, no son, no kin, and so we have in this hole barely sentient men who have no one to look after them. Wait, what? No, 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 fuck, I didn't change the category. No, 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 no. Fuck. Shut the fuck up. Fuck, I'm still here. This didn't happen, this didn't happen, this didn't. There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. Amazing. No, really. Thank you, Unkum. I literally, yes, I am fine. I kind of got lightheaded a little bit, all for the bit, but it was worthy. Now we're on the correct theory. We're going to get bad. Now, fucking hell, I really got lightheaded. This is beautiful. It is incredible. If you ever meet him, be kind enough to tell him your Peters hang a head down in a hole in great sorrow. Haratkaro, take a wife and beget children. Brahmana, you're the single thread by which your ancestors hang. Brahmana, the once many-stranded rope of Virana roots by which we hang is the rope of our clan. The strands that have been eaten away are we, whom time has devoured. The single root that remains is Haratkaro, who has chosen Brahmacharya. The rat, you see, is inexorable time. The rat gradually gnaws away at the wretched Haratkaro, who thinks only of himself. Yeah, I kind of no. It wasn't OBS. It was what is it? What Twitch? Don't worry. I know that nothing shows, but also I do not want to break the immersion right now, you know. And also, welcome, Katie. I know that you were already here, but nobody fucking claims the first command. Here. Brahmana, his asceticism will not save us. Look how we have been uprooted from higher worlds and fallen down into this pit, barely conscious beings anymore, gone away incessantly by Kala, devolving like the worst sinners. And when the last strand gives way and we plunge into hell, Haratkaro will go with us, dear friend. No tapasya, yagna, or any secret pursuit can compare with a son. That is the line that I was searching for. Fucking. Okay. I remember even because I kind of already went over this in the part that was very similar, and yes, it is incredible how much remarks there are on the Mahabharata to have a fucking child. I guess it is, at least for the Hinduism tradition, one of the most important things to have a descendant. And well, son, okay, son, son is like male son, right? Or son can be attributed to simply having a child, because I think it is kind of referring to having a son, as in having a male kid, you know. I think I am not so sure, but I think that is one of the only things that I notice now. Probably that he needs to have. Oh no! Here. Children. Okay, father children. Okay, that's it. Okay. Child, you have seen us. We beg you, tell Haradkaru about us in detail. Brahmana, since you are kindly disposed toward us, persuade him to marry and father children. Ah, we feel how lovingly you grieve for us, and we wonder who you are. Oh, a friend of Haradkaru's, or perhaps even one of our own. Tell us, oh fine one, who are you that remains here so patiently? Canto 46. Astikaparva continued. Sotis. Soti? Ah, okay. Sati is the one who is telling this story. Sorry for getting everything mixed up for a second. Hearing all this, Haratkaru was plunged in gloom, his voice choking, tears in his eyes. He said to his beaters, "You are my sires and grandsires. I am the sinner Haratkaru, so justice me, wretch that I am, and command me what to do." The beaters replied, "Oh, son, son, truly it is our great fortune that you have arrived here on your wanderings. Brahmana, why have you not married?" Karatkaru said, "My fathers, I have always wanted to keep my vital seed inside my body, and thus take my body into the next world. So I decided that I would never marry, but always remain celibate. But now I have seen you hanging here like bats. I have turned my head away from Brahmacharya. I will do as you ask. I will marry if I can find a girl who has the same name that I do. She must give herself to me without me asking as alms, and I should never have to maintain her. Sires, if I find such a woman, I will marry, not otherwise, and the child that I beget on her shall be your salvation, O my fathers, and you shall live in grace forever, without fear." Having given his word to his mates, Haratkaru set out once more, wandering the face of the earth again. O Saunaka, he was old and could find no wife, and he thought of his beaters hanging in their hole, and he grieved terribly. However, he continued seeking a bride. Uh, wait, I I think I now kind of remember what was the thing we read before, and it was yeah, it was the story of Haratkaru from a different point of view. So why why is this repeating itself and in even more detail than before? Anyways, once in a deep jungle, he was quite unmanned by sorrow and began to sob loudly. The Brahmana cried out loud, "I want a wife!" 3 times. All of you that can hear, mobile and unmoving, and all that are here invisibly, hear me. My stricken mates have commanded me to marry and father a son. I range the world at my Peter's word, in poverty and in dire sorrow, to find a wife who will be given to me as alms. If any among you has a daughter who bears the same name as I do, and one that I will not have to support, let him give her to me. Oh, let him give her to me so I can save my fathers who hang precariously in the hole, in the ground." The snakes that had been following Haratkaru, waiting for just this moment, sped back to Vasuki and told him what had happened. The Naga King took his sister Haratkaru with him, decked in her finest ornaments, and went to the jungle where the Rishi was. Brahmana, there, but there Vasuki offered his sister Haratkaru as alms to the noble sage. He did not accept her immediately. He was not certain that she had his name, and also the matter of upkeep had not been settled. He was silent for a few moments. Then he asked, "What's the girl's name? You must know that I shall not maintain her." Okay, Canto 47. Castica Parva continued. Soti said, "Vasuki said to the Rishi Haratkaru, best of Brahmanas, she has the same name as you do. She is my sister and has Dondapachya. I will look after her, so take her for your wife. I swear that I will protect her with all my resources. Greatest of Maharishis, I have nurtured her carefully just for you." The Rishi replied, "Do we agree that I shall not maintain her, and also that she will always obey me? If she displeases me once, I will leave her." Vasuki gave the Muni his solemn word on both counts. Haratkaru now enters Vasuki's home and took the hand of the Serpent King's sister, offered to him with all proper Shastraic ritual. Uh, hello, Copadoti. Yeah. This is a beautiful letter, no? And I hope your chess stream went well. We are once again reading the Mahabharata. Okay, here. Then Haratkaru Muni took his bride and went into the lavish apartment and bedchamber that Basuki showed him. An empty private chamber was a great bed covered with priceless sheets of silk. The rishi said to his wife, Haratkaru, you must never say or do anything that is against my wishes or liking. If you ever displease me in the least thing, I will leave you and go away. Remember this well. The Nagina princess, Basuke's sister, quickly agreed. In anxiety and some sadness, so be it, wanting to be useful to her clan, for she knew why she had been married to the Rishi. That chaste princess served her husband with the wakefulness of a dog, the timidity of a deer, and the uncanny sensitivity to his mood which a crow has. Eh, and, and one day soon, after her period was over, Vasuki's sister purified herself with a ritual bath, went to her husband Temune, and she conceived. The embryo was like a flame in her womb, of terrific Texas, and shone like fire. It grew inside her like the waxing moon. One afternoon, during her pregnancy, Harakaro, of great renown, tiredly pat his head in his wife's lap and fell asleep. When he slept, the sun entered his mansion in what? Ah, okay. The sun entered his mansion in the western mountain and began to set. Brahmana, Basuki's sister, became worried. She was afraid that her husband might lose his punya. She thought, what should I do? Shall I wake my husband or not? He is exacting and meticulous in his rituals, and must say his twilight sadhya prayers before the sun sets. But if I wake him, I risk his wrath. Which is worse, that he is angry with me or that he loses his punya? Deciding that losing his punya was worse than risking his fury, Basuki's sister said in the softest voice to her great husband, lying like a flame with his head in her lap, most fortunate, illustrious one, you must wake up. The sun is setting, and you must bathe. Say the name of Vishnu and perform your Sandhya Vandana. Twilight is upon us, my lord. Awake. Haratkaru opened his eyes, his lips quivered in anger, and he said to his wife, You have insulted me, oh lovely Nagina, and I will no longer live with you, but go back to where I came from, oh woman of soft thighs. The sun cannot set while I am asleep in your lap. No one shall continue to live where he has been insulted. Least of all a Brahmana like me. What? What the fuck? He was completely crazy. Uh, no, probably not. I don't even like Fortnite, so I wouldn't take that. I wouldn't take that sponsorship deal. But just in case, question was, would you take a sponsorship deal where you get a new PC, but you're legally obligated to stream Fortnite for 20 hours a week, or else it explodes and starts a house fire? No, I wouldn't. Thank you for your offer. I wouldn't. Well, at the end of the day, how many hours of streaming are 20 in a whole week? Like 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, if I were to do, for example, 4 hours of streaming every single day, I will be done like in the 6th day still. No, in the 5th, obviously in the 5th. So yeah, no, I wouldn't take that offer. It is shit. Sorry, no, yeah, not interested in that. Continuing. Haratkaru, his wife, trembled with fear. She said to him, Oh, Brahmana, I did not wake you from any wish to insult you. I only woke you so that you will not lose your punya by not observing your Sandhya Vandana. Rishi Haratkaru was furious and he wanted to abandon his wife. Said he, Beautiful one, I have never spoken a lie, and leave you I shall. I have been happy with you, but I did tell your brother that the day you displeased me, I will go. When I have left, tell Basuki that I have gone, and do not grieve for me. Haratkaru of faultless features was grieved. Who the fuck is which one? Okay, the woman Haratkaru. Okay, Haratkaru of faultless features was grief-stricken and terrified. Somehow she mustered the courage to speak to her husband. Her heart trembled and she had gone pale. Folding her hands to him, tears streaming down her lovely face, she said, "It is not right that you leave me when I have done no wrong. You walk the way of virtue, and so do I, with my heart set upon saving my race. Best of Brahmanas, the purpose for which I was given to you has not yet been fulfilled. What will Vasuki say to me? Brahmana, the son that my kinsmen want from me to save them from our mother's curse is not yet born. I beg you, do not leave me until you give me children. I am sinless. Why are you being cruel to me?" The Muni Haradkaru said to his wife, "You have conceived, and the being in your womb is a Maharishi, brilliant as Agni himself, a master of the Veda and the Vedangas." With that, Haradkaru Rishi went away, his heart set on resuming his tapasya. Fucking wild Haradkaru, Elmo. Canto 48. Astikaparva continued. Saki said, "Oh, you that have such great punya." When her husband left, Haradkaru Tenagina went straight to her brother Vasuki and told him what had happened. Vasuki turned paler than his sister on hearing her news. He said in despair, "You know why you were given to be the Rishi's wife. Only if a son is born to you by your husband can our race be saved from Hanamihaya's Sarpayagna. Brahma himself said so, with the devas present. Sister, it is not proper for me to ask, but have you been with the sage? Has he made you pregnant? I dare not follow the Rishi, for he might curse me if I do. But tell me everything that transpired between you two. Ah, remove the arrow of terror that has lain buried in my heart for so long." Haradkaru consoled her brother, saying, "My husband said to me that I have conceived, and then he went away. I have never known him to tell a lie, even jokingly. He would surely not have lied about such a grave matter. He said that I should not grieve, because I will have a son who blazes like Suryadeva. He said this much to me before he went away. So be comforted, my brother, and let the deep sorrow in your heart vanish." Vasuki, king of snakes, cried in joy, "Tadastu, so be it!" And he gave his sister the finest gifts and wealth, and praised her to the skies. Brahmana, the splendid foetus, fetus, foetus, what the fuck is a foetus? Fetus, I will guess. Brahmana, the splendid fetus inside her, grew like the moon waxing during the bright fortnight. When her time came, the Nagina Haradkaru gave birth to a child who was dazzling as a Deva child, and by his birth he assuaged the fears of his ancestors and his mother's people. The child grew up there in the house of Vasuki, king of snakes. He studied the Vedas under Angas from Chevana Muni, Brigu's son, and even when he was a mere boy, he kept the most stringent vratas. He was gifted with great intelligence, with virtue, knowledge, and freedom from mundane indulgences. He was a saintly child. They called him Astika, which meant there is, for that was what his father had said before leaving. When his mother asked him if there was a child conceived in her, he was a solemn and grave child, endowed with exceptional intellect. The Nagas raised him with the greatest care, and they said that he resembled golden Mahadeva, who wields the Trisula. As he grew day by day, he was the delight of his entire clan. Beautiful, beautiful. So far, beautiful. But anyways, I'm kind of sleepy. How much have I been streaming already? Can somebody tell me? That shit. Okay. Do I have to keep going? To people? To I'm obligated to keep going. How much are we? Two. Why? Okay. I guess I will do at the very least 3 more cantos before leaving. At the end of the day, I only from 40. How much? 40. 44 to 49, so yeah. I should try to, at the very least, do some reading. Canto 49, Astica Parva continued. Sonaka said, "Tell me again in detail everything that King Hanamehaya asked him ministers about his father's death." Soti said, "Oh Brahmana, listen to what Hanamehaya asked them, and also to what they said in reply about the death of Parikshit." Hanamehaya asked them, "You know what happened to my father. Tell me how that king of great renown met his end. Once I hear the truth from you, I shall decide what is to be done, if it benefits the world. Otherwise, I will do nothing and let the matters pass." One of the ministers replied, "Hear, O Rajan, about the life of your illustrious father, and also how he left this world. He was the most virtuous and noble Kshatriya, who always protected his people. Listen to how he conducted himself. Why, like an embodiment of Dharma, watching over the four Varnas, and each discharging their Svadharma, and watching over Bhumi Devi, he was blessed with untold prowess and immense fortune." Hold a fucking second here. What the fuck I am reading about? What is this about? What are they talking about? Who? What? Hanamehaya? Eh, eh, pe, 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 pe. What? Tell me again in detail everything that King Hanamehaya asked his ministers about his father dead. Uh-huh. Listen to what Hanamehaya asked them, and also to what they said in reply about the death of Parikshit. Ah, about the story of Parikshit, I guess. I guess. I will guess then. I will guess. No one disliked Parikshit, and he disliked no one. Like Brahma himself, he was equal-minded towards all the living. Rajan, your father protected Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra impartially. Widows and orphans, the deformed and the poor, he supported. He was as handsome as another Somadeva. The matchless Saradwat was his guru at arms. Hanamehaya, your father, was always dear to the Lord Govinda. Govinda Siddhartha! He was born to the Uttara when the Guru race was almost extinct, and because he was tested with death while his mother's womb, Abhinayu's mighty son was named Parikshit. He knew the Shastras that described the Dharma of kings in detail, and virtue was part of his nature. His passions were under his control. He had a profound and powerful intellect and a prodigious memory, the matchless Parikshit. He knew the nuances of Dharma and politics as well, and he ruled over his people for 60 glorious years. Then he died tragically and was mourned by all his subjects. After him, you, great Hanamehaya, were crowned when you were a mere child, and you have ruled the Kuru kingdom for 1,000 years. Like your father, you are virtuous and protect every creature that lives in your land. How the fuck is Hanamehaya 1,000 years old being, and 60, 60 glorious years are different than 1,000 years? I don't understand it. I don't know. Hanamehaya said, "Never has a king been born in the house of Kuru who did not seek the good of his people, or one that his people did not love. Consider especially my grandsires, the Pandavas of awesome deeds. But tell me again, how did my father, with all his virtues, meet his death? Describe everything to me as it happened. I want to hear it all." Commanded by the sovereign, his councillors told him all that had happened. Rajan, your father, guardian of the very earth, foremost among those that live by the Shastras, became addicted to hunting, just like his ancestor Pandu Mahabaho, greatest among archers. He would leave the governance of the kingdom to us for the most trivial to weighty matters, and be off hunting in the forest. One day he shot a deer with an arrow, and when it did not die, he followed it deep into the jungle, armed with his sword and his bow and quiver. However, he could not find the stag. Being 60 years old, he was soon tired and hungry. Suddenly, he saw in the heart of the forest a radiant rishi. The sage had sworn a Mahabharata, a vow of silence. The king asked him repeatedly if he had seen the deer, but the Muni made no reply. Suddenly, the king lost his temper at the sage, who sat like a block of wood. Parikshit did not, in fact, know that this was a rishi observing a vow of silence. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, Bharatirashava, your father scooped up a dead snake that lay on the ground with the tip of his bow and wrapped it around the neck of the rishi at his dhyana. The sage still did not say a word, and no hint of anger touched his pure and tranquil heart. He sat on in silence, now with the dead snake around him. Next. Okay, Canto 50, Parva continued. Sati continued. The ministers said, Maharaja Parikshit returned to Hastinapura. The Muni had a son who was born of a cow. His name was Sringing. He was famed for his great spiritual powers and brilliance, and also his quick temper. He would go every day to the house of his guru to worship and serve him, released for the day by his master. Sringing was on his way home when a friend of his told him what your father Parikshit had done to his father. Sringing heard that his sinless father now sat in meditation, as still as a statue, with a dead snake around his neck. Rahan, the rishi whom your father mocked, was a great sannyasin, his passions restrained, always absorbed in tapasya, and also performing many wonderful deeds. He was an illumined one, all his senses under perfect control. Yeah. We are kind of going over in this case. Sorry, hello, Kiantiki, welcome. We are going over a little bit of now, kind of a resume, or basically they are telling. I think you were there. The story of Parikshit and Sringing and all of those. The guy who cursed a monk who was literally meditating. All of that is being told to Hanamehaya, and also the story that is being told to Hanamehaya is being told or is being retold by Soti, the main storyteller so far. And also, I am also telling you the story as I lo tupo the potato. And also, in another layer of complexity, you are hearing this story in your mind by your own capacities. So yeah, this is incredible. It was okay here. All that he did and said was invariably full of grace and sweetness. No greed or desire came near him. He was a contented one. No envy or pettiness touched him, or rage. Never. He was old now and frequently kept a vow of silence. Most of all, he was a sea of kindness in whom any creature in distress could seek sanctuary. This was the sage that your father insulted, and he did not react at all to what Parikshit did. However, when his son Sringing heard what had happened, he cursed your father in fury. Sringing was a mere youth, but he had potent spiritual powers. Touching holy water with his fingers, blazing in anger, he said, Wretched king, behold the power of my Tapasya Shakti. I curse you that within 7 days Takshaka will burn you too with his poison, that you dare drape a dead snake around my father. Then Sringing went to where his father sat, with the snake still around him. He told his father that he had cursed Parikshit. At once his father sent a disciple of his, Garmukha, a good-natured, virtuous, and well-mannered young man, to your father's court to warn him. Arriving in Hastinapura, Garmukha rested a while and then delivered his master's message to the king. O Rahan, my gallows son has cursed you, that in 7 days Takshaka will burn you with his poison. Be warned, Parikshit, take every care. Yeah, Tapaksha Shakti, basically the spiritual power, so to speak. Or the capacity to alter reality or to make it be as you will. Basically, a capacity that is limited to the Brahmans. Hanamehaya, when your father heard the terrible message, he quickly made arrangements to take all precautions against Takshaka. When the seventh day arrived, Kashyapa Muni was on his way to your father, when Takshaka, disguising himself as a Brahmana, accosted him on the road. The Naga king said to Kashyapa, "Where are you going in such a hurry? On what business are you going?" Kashyapa replied, "Brahmana, I am going to meet King Parikshit, best of the Gurus, for today Takshaka will burn him with his poison, and I shall restore him to life with my power." Takshaka said, "Why do you want to revive the king, Brahmana? I am Takshaka, and I say to you, you will fail to restore Parikshit to life after I have beaten him. You do not know how virulent my poison is. Let me show you." Takshaka buried his fangs in a great oh my god. Takshaka buried his fangs in a great Gyogradha tree, a looming king of the jungle. At once the tree was burned to ashes, but Kashyapa, O king, revived it with his mantras. Takshaka was wonderstruck and said to the sage, "Tell me what you want from Parikshit for saving his life." Kashyapa said, I am going to him for gold." Takshaka said softly, "Sinless, I will give you more gold than you expect from Parikshit. Take it and go home." Kashyapa Prajapati accepted a fair treasure from Takshaka, gold and jewels to his heart's content, and turned back home. Takshaka disguised himself again, and going into the presence of your good father, was living in a mansion in the air supported on a single column, blasted him with his poison, burning him to ashes. When your father's last rites had been performed, O tiger among men, you were made the king. This is the story of how your father died, and we have told it to you as it happened, savage though it was. You have heard about how Maharaja Parikshit wrapped the snake around the Rishi's Samika's neck, and how Serengin killed him, and how horribly he died. Now you must decide what you want to do. King Hanamehaya, Parantapa, bane of his enemies, said to his ministers, "How did you know about the meeting between Takshaka and Kashyapa? About the pipal tree being burned to ashes and then revived by the Muni? It is certain that Kashyapa could have saved my father's life with his mantras, but fearing the world's ridicule if he failed to kill noble Parikshit, the vile snake bribed the Rishi to return home. I have already thought of how I mean to punish Takshaka. However, the meeting between Takshaka and the sage occurred in the heart of the jungle, on a lonely path. How do you know in such detail everything that was said and done on that occasion?" The minister said, "Rahan, a Brahmana's servant, had climbed that pipal tree to break some dry branches for his master's sacrificial fire. He told us about the meeting between the sage and the serpent king, and neither saw him. When Takshaka burned the tree, Rahathiraha, this man was also reduced to ashes. When Kashyapa gave life to the tree, this fellow lived again, and came to tell us what had happened in the forest herd. Now you must decide what you will do to avenge your great father." Hanamehaya heard what his minister said, and began to cry and to wring his hands in anguish on hearing how his father had died. The lotus-eyed king sighed and gasped. He sobbed and even screamed aloud. His eyes blazed, and he touched holy water with his fingers to sanctify what he was about to say. Composing himself somewhat, Hanamehaya said to his ministers, "I thank you for telling me how my father perished. I have decided to take revenge on the malignant Takshaka. It is true that Serengin first cursed my father, but for what reason except evil and pride in his heart did Takshaka turn Kashyapa back? If he had allowed the sage to come to Hastinapura, my father's life would have been saved. Takshaka did not know what my wrath would be when I discovered what he did. He gave gold to the Brahmana and turned Kashyapa back. In what way had my father offended Takshaka that he did this? Why, the Rishi Samika forgave my father easily. I will have terrible revenge on Takshaka, for my own satisfaction, for Samika's, and for the satisfaction of all of you that love Parikshit." Fucking vengeful guy. Very vengeful Hanamehaya. Canto 51, Astikaparva continued. Sati continued. The ministers approved as a man. Thunderously, Hanamehaya, lord of the earth, that tiger of the race of Mahabharata, called his chief priest and his red beaks. In chaste language, he said to them, I must avenge myself on Takshakas for killing my father. Do you know how I can cast the low snake and all his clan into a fire? I want to burn the serpent just as he did my father. The chief priest answered, Rahan, there is a yajna by which you can accomplish your desire, a great sacrifice created by the Devas. It is called the Sarpa Yagna and has been described in the Puranas. Scholars that know the Puranas have told us that only you, mighty king, can perform the Sarpa Yagna. O Saunaka, Hanamehaya felt exhilarated as if Takshaka had already been burned and flung into the blazing maw of Agni, which consumes the habits of every sacrifice. The king said to those Brahmana masters of mantras, let us prepare for the Sarpa Yagna. Tell me what you need for the snake sacrifice. The king learned Ritvik's measured out land for the Yagnashala, as prescribed in the Shastras. The platform was adorned with auspicious and priceless articles required for the yagna, and with brahmanas, jewels in abundance, and paddy decked the yagnashala. The Ritviks sat upon it in comfort. When the dice was pulled, in strict accordance with Shastraic injunction, the Brahmanas installed Hanamehaya as the sacrificer so that he could fulfill his purpose. Just before the sacrifice got underway, something happened that did not portend well for the completion of the Sarpayagna. As the Yagnashala was being built, a professional Sutta builder of great intelligence, an expert in the craft of laying foundations, and a master of the Puranas, declared the sail upon which this dice is erected and the time the measurements for it were taken both indicate that the yagna will not be completed, and a brahmana shall cause its obstruction. When the king heard this, he ordered his Dwarapalakas not to let anyone enter the yagnashala without his permission. Canto 52 Astikaparwa Astikaparwa continua. So he said, the snake sacrifice began at the proper time, and the priest, wearing black robes and their eyes red from the smokes that issued from the Agni Kunda, poured ghee into the fire, chanting the prescribed mantras. They said the names of the Nagas aloud as they poured clarified butter into the mouth of Agni and chanted the dire incantations. Wherever they were, the hearts of the serpents quailed in fright. Drawn helplessly into the blazing fire, the snakes came from wherever they were, and piteously, crying out to one another, fell into the flame. In millions, their bodies swollen, panting and hissing, they came, and, twining around one another in their final moments, plunged headlong into the Agni Kunda. White, black, blue, old and young, fell alike into the blaze, crying out in various voices. There were those measuring a grosa, others a yohana long, those of the length of a gokarna, and all of them fell in a torrent into the greatest of fires. Millions upon millions of Nagas died, with no control over their own bodies, pulled inexorably into the flames by the fell mantras of the priests. Amongst those that perished were some Nagas like horses, others like the trunks of elephants, and yet others as big as elephants and with the strength of pachydermis in masts, varicolored, their venom smoking and virulent, always vicious, looking like great messes with spikes. Those Nagas coursed by their mother Kadru stream into the leaping jaws of the flames and died. Okay. Canto 53 Astikaparva continue. Saunaka asked, which Maharishis were the Ritviks during the Sarvayagna of the Hanamehaya of the line of the Pandavas? Which were the Sadasyas of the at the sacrifice so fearsome and tragic for the serpents? O son of Sudara Maharshana, tell us in detail so that we might discover which rishis knew the rituals for that yagna. Sota replied, I will recite the names of the sages who became Hanamehaya's Ritviks and Sadasyas. The Brahmana chanted, what Chandamhargava was the Hotri. Great was his renown, and he was born into the lineage of Chiavana and was among the foremost masters of the Veda. Okay, time to read some funny words. Telernol Brahmana Kausta was the Udgatri and chanted the Vedic hymns. Jaimini was the Brahmana and Sangarva and Pingala the Advargus. Vyasa was his son and disciples was present. And Udalaka, Pramataka, Swataketu, Pingala, Asita, Devala, Narada, Parvata, Atreya, Kundahatara, Kalagata, Basya, all Surutarabas, always absorbed in Japa and the study of the Devas. In Japa? Japa, what is Japa? What the fuck is Japa? I don't know. Kohala, Devasharman, Mahugalia, Samasaurava, and many other Brahmanas, all Vedic masters, became the Sadasyas, the guest of honor at the sacrifice of Parikshit's son. When the red pigs began to pour ghee into the fire, the most dreadful Nagas, who struck terror into every creature, began to pour into the flames. The fat and marrow of the snakes, consumed by the fire, flowed in streams. The air was filled with a fearful stench as the snakes burned. The screams of the snakes in the flames and those of the serpents about to fall into the flames were a single incessant cry. Meanwhile, Takshaka, prince of snakes, heard that Hanamehaya had begun his sacrifice, and he flew to Indra's palace, shaking in terror, confessing his sins, and he sought sanctuary from Purandara. Indra said to him, Takshaka, while you are here, you have nothing to fear from the Sarpayagna. I worshipped Brahma for your sake, so have no fear. Sati continued. The king heard from this. Takshaka began living in Indra's realm joyfully, but Vasuki, king of the Nagas, saw how his people died without let, and how his family was being reduced moment by moment, and he was full of sorrow, his heart breaking. Calling his sister Haratkaru, he said to her, My body burns, and I cannot see the cardinal points of the sky anymore. My mind is a wheel, my sight failed to me, my heart is breaking, and I am about to faint. I feel certainly that Hanamehaya's fire, kindled to consume our race, draws me irresistibly, and I too will fall into it today. I feel certain that I will also find Yama's realm for myself. The time has come, sister, for the purpose to be fulfilled for which you were married to the Rishi Haratkaru, best among Naginas. Astika must put an end to the Sarpayagna. Brahma himself told me this long ago. Tell your son, my child, who is a master of the Vedas, and so esteemed even by his elders, that he must save me and those that depend on me. Okay, I think... Let me... How long is this? No, okay, we're doing this one. Yes? Okay, we're doing this one. Canto 54. Astika Parva continued. Soti said, the Nagina Haratkarukal Astika answered, The time has come for you to fulfill your destiny. The reason why my brother gave me in marriage to your father, my son, do what you have to do. Astika asked, Why did my uncle give you in marriage to my father? Tell me everything so that I might do what I feel needs to be done. Haratkaru, who remained calm, though she was anxious for the lives of her people, said, My son, Kadru is the mother of all the Nagas. Do you know that she cursed her sons in anger? She cursed them, saying, You have refused to become black hairs on the tail of Uchchai's Ravas, so that Vinata becomes my slave. I curse you that Agni, whose Sarathi is by you, shall consume you all during Hanamehaya's Sarpayagna, and dying you shall find hell for yourselves, where unredeemed souls dwell. And Brahma himself ratified her curse, saying, So be it. Vasuki heard that curse, and also Brahma approving it. My brother sought the protection of the Devas by becoming their churning robe when they churned the ocean for the Amrita. When they had the Amrita, the Devas took Vasuki to Brahma Pitamaha. They beseeched the lotus-born one to nullify the curse of Kadru. The Devas said, Lord, Vasuki, king of snakes, is dejected for his people. How can his mother's curse be turned away. Brahma replied, Rishi Haratkaru will marry a wife who bears his own name. The Brahmana born from her will save the Nagas. And so, Vasuki gave me to your noble father well before the Sarvayagna began. My child, radiant as a god, you were born from that union. That time of your destiny has come, and you must save my brother and me from Haramihaya's fire. Tell me what you think. Astika, my son. Astika said simply to his mother, Yes, I will. He turned to the pale and terrified Vasuki and, as if breathing new life into him, said, Great Vasuki, best of snakes, I will save you from the curse. Abandon your anxiety. There is nothing to fear anymore. Never have I spoken a falsehood, even in jest, so certainly do not lie now. Let me go to Hanamehaya's sacrifice and pacify him with sweet words and blessings too, and make him stop the Sarvayagna. O Nagaraja, trust me, for I will do as I have said. Vasuki breathed. Astika, my head spins and my heart is breaking. I cannot see the cardinal points anymore. Ah, my mother's curse is upon me. Astika said, Nagotama, best of snakes, do not worry, for I will dispel your fear of Karamehaya's fire. I will extinguish the flames of revenge that burn like the fire at the end of the Yuga. Astika now sped away to the king's sacrifice, taking, as it were, his uncle's terror with him. The Nagas felt relieved. Arriving, Astika saw the wonderful Yagnashala and the many Sadasyas sit upon the dais. Holy men as bright as Surya and Agni. Hanamehaya's Dwarapalakas refused to let Astika enter. Astika won them over with sweet words and blessings. Entering the Yagnashala, that great Brahmana began to fulsomely praise the king of vast power and accomplishments, as well as the Ritviks, the Sadasyas, and the sacred fire. And we will leave it here. I didn't intend to go so far today, but we already kind of did, so this was incredible. Let me transition to here and change this to here. And I don't even know how many we are right now, but oh my god, I was more tired than what I expected. So yeah. Now we shall raise somebody, and after that I will go and sleep. I am tired. But well, as always, thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks for being here. Thanks for lurking. Thanks to those who came. Thanks to those who said anything and weren't able to completely stay. Yeah, basically, or more likely, the other kind of takeaway that I find to be, in a sense, the most not correct, but something like that, is the idea that you need to not do anyone wrong, because you never know when you are going to get in the Mahabharata course literally to die. So yeah, it is important to be a good people, a good human, basically, because if you do not go for that, you might as well literally be cursed to disappear into the flames of the oil, as one would say. But anyways, I hope anybody is not behaving incorrectly, so that nobody burns in the Sarpayagna. And now we shall raid our dear friend Charlie Falls, who is doing some art. This over here, this. And well, as always, yeah, nothing else to add. As always, thanks for being here. Let me say goodbye. Goodbye Bunkum, goodbye Kyondike. Yeah, no, thank you for being here. Let me set this over here. Okay, there it is. Stop streaming. No wait, I didn't write. There it is.